evening, Rotorua tonight on City News. Local students got to present their science skills at yesterday's Niwa Bay of Plenty Science and Technology Fair. Pollards will show their spring-summer collection at the Fashion Festival for Hospice, and top secondary schools' First 15 rugby is on display tomorrow when Boys High face Wesley College. Local students got to show their science skills and interest at yesterday's Niwa Bay of Plenty Science and Technology Fair. The event is organised by Kiwanis of Rotorua.
First of all, the Kiwanis Club of Rotorua, which I belong to, had to form an incorporated society to comply with the current legislation as regards to charities. Bay of Plenty Science Fair then applies for funding to various charitable organisations, and our major sponsor, which of course is NIWA, the National Institute of Water and Atmospheric Research.
So with me we've got a familiar face, Tanya Tapsell, who has our youth portfolio. Hello Tanya.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. Now tell me, from your perspective, what's it like to be a part of something like this?
Oh, it's just absolutely amazing. I mean, you come here and these are students, these are intermediate and high school students that are just, making these amazing inventions and questioning what we already have as well. So I've really enjoyed going around and being a judge today. It's quite honoured to come along, and you know what, it's just so exciting because they will be the future scientists of tomorrow, so that's awesome.
Local menswear store Pollards has jumped on board the Fashion Festival for Hospice planned for next month. Store owner Ryan Pollard says it was a no-brainer jumping on board.
What are the fashion trends for this year?
Well, certainly, guys, it's been quite exciting the last few years. Bold and colour has been going really well, particularly in shirts. So obviously checks have been around for quite a few seasons, but they're getting bolder and more colourful. But in particularly the next season and going forward is prints and paisleys and those type of patterns are coming in quite strongly. So yeah, you'll definitely see, if you come along, you'll see some pretty neat stuff.
And when is your store going to be stocked with all this new season gear?
We start getting it, basically our spring-summer starts arriving in September, so hopefully by the fashion parade comes around we'll have a bit of new gear to show off.
In sport tonight, the Steamers will be looking for a better match than their opener last week when they faced Tasman on Sunday. The Bay of Plenty team started their ITM Cup campaign by losing to Southland, however fancy their chances against Tasman. They kick off on Sunday at Bay Park at 4:35 p.m. And Rotorua Boys High First 15 are also looking for a win this weekend. However, Boys High have a bit more at stake, a chance to contest the national top 4 secondary schools competition. Boys High coach Craig Hodge says they face Wesley College and, if successful, move on to challenge Hamilton Boys for a place in the national quarterfinals. Kickoff is at 12 p.m. at Rotorua Boys High. To your weather now, and the forecast tonight is fine with southerly winds and an overnight low of 1. And we have a full forecast of the weekend's weather coming up after City News thanks to Met Service. Still to come in tonight's program, we cover the visit this week of the Labour bus and talk with Rotorua candidate Tamati Coffey and Wellington Central MP Grant Robinson. As well, we check out work being done at English Language Partners.
Kia ora everybody. Well, the Labour bus is in town and it's rolling round and it has our local Labour representative, Tamati Coffey. How's it all going?
Oh, it's going good. It's going good. We've only just started today, but look at it. Look at it. You can't miss it, can you? In fact, we were just in the middle of town and the driver said, "Oh, do you reckon I could get around the City Focus?" I said, "I wouldn't try if I were you." The worst thing that we can have is the bus being wedged up on the footpath or something. But we're set for a pretty big day. We're down here at the Volcanic Playground. We're about to head to the Central Mall. We're going up to Waiariki to talk to the students. Grant Robertson, who's our Labour spokesperson on tertiary education, is going to get up there. He's going to talk to everybody, all of the students, about voting, but also about student loans and about tertiary education. Then we're heading out to Rotorua. We're going out there for a bit of sign waving and a bit more of this, I reckon, and also talking to people about our policies, and that's the biggest thing about this thing. One, we're creating visibility, but two, we need to get our policies out because we've got really strong policies around jobs, homes and families, and we want everybody to know them.
The poll results are coming up. How do you feel about that?
Good. At the moment, we're hovering around 30%. We can always do better. 30% of the party vote. We can always do better. So we're hopefully going to get out there and and lift some of that up.
Dirty Politics, that book, what's your take on that?
Not good, is it? Not good, is it? It's not the way that I like to operate. It's not the way that Labour likes to operate as well. And I'm concerned that that kind of stuff is going on. I don't think New Zealanders like hearing about that kind of stuff. I pledge to not get into any of that kind of stuff.
So tell me, you've got a little posse here travelling around with you?
My crew.
Your crew?
Yep.
Tell me, where do they come from and what's brought them here?
Everybody's local, everybody's from here in Rotorua, and everybody's passionate about Labour and about our policies and about the cause. So everybody's either taken the day off work or whatever else they do, and they've come down to help us out. So I'm really humbled by that, actually.
Yeah, that's really nice. You've got your office in town.
Yep.
How's that positioning helped with your campaign? Because it's quite, a lot of foot traffic going past. You get a lot of people coming in?
Yep, lots of people coming in, and better than that, because we're on the path between the buses where they pull in and the Central Mall. So we get lots of people walking past, but we don't just rely on that location. We actually get out of our office and we have sausage sizzles, and I go out on the street and I hand out pamphlets all the time, just making sure that we're not just stuck in the office. It's all about getting out there. So I'm making sure that I spend as less time as possible actually inside the office.
And I saw you've got a people mover at the moment with your face on the side of it.
Yeah.
What are the plans for that?
Oh, the plan is, people can early vote from the 3rd of September, and that's my number one message that I'm saying when I get out there. You can vote from the 3rd at the Zen building in town, just up from the Fat Dog, the old the IRD building. You can go in there and you can vote from the 3rd of September to the 20th. So I'm saying to people, get in there, get it out of the way, and then you don't have to wait until that one day to actually go in and cast your vote. And so what we're going to do with our big van is we're going to call it the voting van, and anybody that needs a ride to the polling station, Tamti's going to come and pick you up.
Oh, there you go. That's good. That sounds really good. And no excuses?
No excuses. If you don't vote, you can't complain. But we want people to vote. We want people to vote. Last time around, 1 million people didn't vote. The outcome of the election would have been completely different. We want to change that.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Tamati, for your time. Anything else you'd like to say to people?
Just make sure that your friends, your whānau, make sure that everyone's enrolled to vote, and try and vote early. Get it out of the way. Our people are famous for staying at home if there's a rugby game on, if you're working, if it's raining, then people don't show out to vote. So if you can vote early, pick a nice fine day in between the 3rd and the 20th of September and get out there and vote.
Making policy and talk of politics can be very confusing for some people, and they kind of don't want to get involved because it's a bit over their head. Is there anywhere they can go to where they can find what Labour policies are that's really simple and really easy?
Really simple, really easy. The best method is to contact me. I can break it down. There's some of our policies which might be a little bit confusing, like our monetary policy and stuff like that, but I can break it down. I can break it down simply. When it comes to jobs, we're raising the minimum wage, taking it from $14.25 up to $16.25. That's big. We're going to get rid of the 90-day trial period. Lots of our people have been exposed to that, and there's lots of bad employers that are taking advantage of it. When it comes to homes, we're building 100,000 houses in the next 10 years to help relieve the housing crisis, but also make them affordable so that people like you and your kids can afford to buy their own home one day. And we're also going to make sure that houses are insulated and heated, and we're going to put that back on the landlord. We've got lots of policies out there, but if you need them broken down, come and see me. Our office is just by the City Focus.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. Tamati coffee, everybody. Kia ora. Are you guys old enough to vote?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Are you registered?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who are you going to vote for?
Mana.
Mana?
Yeah. Mana.
Mana? Why are you going to vote for Mana?
Because our aunties for Mana.
Family.
Yeah.
Family in there. Thomas Coffey's up there. He's going around doing stuff for Labour. Have you heard much about the Labour policies?
Not really.
National policies?
We got a mail, but
You got a mail from National? Have you heard about that book, Dirty Politics?
no.
No? There's a new book that's come out, and it explains quite a bit about some of the stuff that goes on in Parliament. All right, so you're going to vote for Mana. What's the most important issue to you? Jobs.
Jobs. And people getting their money for what they work for.
Pay the right amount.
Yeah.
More money.
Yeah.
More money. So nice. Very nice. Thank you. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Thank you very much. Kia ora, first of all. So the election's coming up. Are you registered to vote?
Yes.
Are you going to vote?
Yes.
Can you tell us who you're going to vote for?
No.
Okay. Have you heard about this Dirty Politics book?
Yes, I have.
What are your thoughts on it?
I don't really. It doesn't really bother me, really. You know, be good to read it properly, but yeah, I think it's unfair what has happened in the book. But, I don't know if I could do anything about it.
There's some campaigning happening at the moment. The big Labour bus is outside and Tamati Coffee is going through the mall.
Yep.
Are you a voter that is persuaded by people campaigning, or are you? Do you vote with your heart? How do you make your choice?
Really, it's my parents. I just who they vote for, I vote for. Things like that. I haven't really looked into it, but I voted before, and the one I voted for had a lot of promises, and it didn't come through. So yeah, I'm going to look into it more now.
Thank you very much for your time. Are you guys going to vote?
Yeah, I know who we're voting for.
You know who you're voting for? Are you easily persuaded at this time? You know, you're not quite made up your mind?
No, I'm going for Māori Party.
You're going for Māori Party? We've just had some people say that they're going to go for Mana Party. Why are you going to go for Māori Party?
I like some of the things that they're set out.
Yeah. So some of the policies? Mm-hmm. Nice. So Labor's here campaigning at the moment. The National Party is doing their campaigns. Are you persuaded by campaigns, or is it more a heart kind of thing that you're just solid and you're going to vote for who you're going to vote for?
No, I was going to vote for Mana Party.
Yeah? Oh, look, well, there'll be an argument tonight at home. Thank you very much. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Are you registered to vote?
I sure am.
And are you going to vote?
I sure am.
And can you tell us who you're going to vote for?
I think I'll be voting for Tamati and Labour.
And why are you making that choice?
Because I am a Labour, I have been Labour all my life, but also Labour is the one that I'm interested in their policies of education and for the elderly and for our communities. I think we've got the policies that will make sense rather than policies that are quite untransparent.
Thank you very much. Are you registered to vote?
Yes.
Yes. Are you going to vote?
No.
No, I already have. Oh, you've already voted. You've already cast it.
Oh.
And you're not going to vote?
No.
No? Is there a reason? Can you not be bothered? Do you not trust anybody? What?
All of the above.
So can you explain a little bit more about your choice not to vote and why?
Well, it's a free choice. You don't really have to. You can, you don't. That's probably all it boils down to.
Do you follow politics, or get interested in it at all, or do you just take what comes?
Yeah, not really. I don't get into politics at all.
Well, we're here in the Central Mall and it is campaign time. Labor has got their great big red bus just outside the doors. Grant Robinson is here now. Thank you very much for joining me.
No worries at all. It's great to be in Rotorua.
It is great to be in Rotorua. How much do you know about the electorate here?
Oh, a little bit. Not as much as you, I'm sure.
Oh, I know a fair bit. Tamati knows a fair bit too.
He does. He's doing a great job, yeah. No, look, it's an electorate that is important for Labor. Having a candidate like Tamati Coffee means that, we can really lift our profile here, and we're really excited about the possibilities.
Do you think Tamati has helped lift more than just the Rotorua profile for Labor?
Oh, look, he's a great candidate. He's one of those people that, as an MP, when you go out campaigning with him, you know your place. It's when people run up to Tamati and they want a photo taken as an MP, you kind of go, oh, okay. So no, look, he's been fantastic right around the country, and I think that the energy and the enthusiasm that he's bringing to the campaign's lifted everybody up.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about your take on this Dirty Politics book. Yeah, surely you know we're going to ask about that.
Of course. Look, for me, the feedback I get going around the country is what's in that book is the stuff that people really don't like about politics. People want us to be focused on the issues that matter to them, what's going to help them and their families. And what we see in this book is the national government being focused on how they can smear other people. The kind of language used in the book is just really vile and horrible, and it's just not the way politics should be done.
And so tell me a little bit about how the campaign is going. You're up slightly in the polls. Is it happy about that?
Look, we're feeling really positive about it. Clearly, we had a few issues there for a while, but the feedback we're getting is really good. People are hearing our messages about the importance of jobs, of homes, of supporting families, and they're responding to that. So the trend's good, as they say, and I think this is going to be a very close election.
What's the biggest challenge as you see it in terms of the final countdown?
Oh, look, the main thing is to make sure we get people out to vote. That's the bottom line. I think you would have heard about the missing million, as people say, the people who didn't vote at the last election. That's the biggest thing for us, for Labour, for getting our vote out. So we've got a big focus. People can vote from the 3rd of September onwards. That's when the early voting starts. So if you're going to be busy on election day on the 20th, there's the possibility of voting over the couple of weeks beforehand. That's a big focus for us to push to get people out to vote. And I think if we get our people out, you never know.
Well, we've just been doing a few Vox Pops, and I'm not going to tell you anything you don't know, but people are voting because it's their family votes, their parents vote that way, one of their aunties is in a particular party, they don't know much about the politics, and so they're just going to vote with what they feel like. How are we going to get through and actually make people interested in policies and make it simple and help them make a more informed choice?
I think it's really important that we talk about the issues that affect people's daily lives. Often we say something like the economy is important. Well, what does the economy mean? The economy means, have you got a job? And are you being paid good wages that allow you to pay your bills and look after your family? We've got to, as politicians, have got to talk about those sorts of issues, and that's what Labour is all about, creating good jobs with decent wages. So I think that's our job, to make it issues that people can understand and relate to their own lives. And then as whānau, as a community, saying, hey, actually it's really important to vote. There are other countries in the world where people are fighting and shedding blood just to get the right to vote. So it's a job on both sides of the fence, but we're pretty sure we've got the policies that'll make a big difference to people's lives.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the people of Rotorua?
I would. I'd like to say 2 ticks, Tamati Coffee and Labour, and get out there and vote.
Thank you very much for your time.
No worries.
So we're here stopping in for a chat with Anna Hayes, who is the manager of the English Language Partners. Thank you for coming, Anna.
Morena, Melanie.
Morena. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, and how did you get this role as manager of the English Language Partners?
Sure. I'm from Wairoa. I've lived in Rotorua for 17 years now, and for the past 14 years I've worked in adult education. So my subject matter isn't specifically English languages as a second language, but I have management skills at tertiary level.
And how did you get into this role? How did you become manager?
It was advertised on Trade Me. I thought that's a fabulous role. I'm excited to learn more about our refugee and migrant communities, and I felt that I had the skill set that could add value, and here I am.
Can you please let us know what the focus of the English Language Partners, well, Rotorua and New Zealand, what is the focus of the organisation?
Most definitely. Our core function is to teach English language to refugees and migrants, but we also offer support to help refugees and migrants settle within Aotearoa, New Zealand, to make them feel more at home here. So yes, our core function is to teach English, but we do all sorts outside of that.
So if you're doing all sorts outside of that, would you say that the people who have come to New Zealand are making new friends, are learning new skills?
I would like to think so, yes, most definitely. We have a volunteer base of tutors that we train, and then we match them up one-on-one with a learner. So that tutor helps the learner and their families with all the needs specific to them, whether it be shopping, catching the bus, climate changes, all of those things that they need to adapt to.
Rotorua has gone under new management when it comes to our council. Tell me, with all the reconstruction that's happening within the council, have you managed to pick up any new roles that you weren't necessarily doing otherwise?
Yes, Melanie, we have Heather from Settlement Support. Unfortunately, that position was disbanded, and she ran Neighbours in Our Community, which is a monthly lunchtime hui, and English Language Partners have picked that up. So the last Friday of every month, we invite a non-English speaking person to come along and tell us all about their country, their experiences in resettling here in Aotearoa, and anything else they feel like chatting about, basically. So yes, we've picked up that role.
Can you let us know, are there any new meetings that are happening, any new functions that you're doing, any new events that you're putting on that are coming up?
Yes, on the 3rd of September we're starting a brand new class specifically for employees. It's called English for Employees. It will be run every Wednesday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. for 25 hours. So that runs over 13 weeks, finishes in November, and it's free to permanent residents. We're also going to run a function for Adult Learners Week, which is the 8th of September. We're going to have a potluck meal for all our learners and their support people, all their whānau and friends. And we're also running a new volunteer training program in October, so that will train anybody who's interested in having a learner one-on-one. We run a 25-hour comprehensive NCQA approved training program for them, so it's a busy time for us between now and December, when we finish like other tertiary providers for the Christmas break.
Now, I know that you've got a lot of volunteers within your organisation. We've actually just recently met Waitsu Wu, and she's doing wonderful things in our community for those who are coming from abroad. Who else have you got a part of in your organisation?
Wow, good question. I have about 62 volunteers who are actively working in the community, who've all done the tutor training program with us, and their role basically is, as I mentioned, to help support refugees and migrants integrate, as well as teach them language skills. So that's completely volunteer run. We also have a few teacher aides or volunteer tutors that come in and help our paid staff who are here on a Monday and Tuesday running English conversation and writing classes.
And if there were people in our community that wanted to become volunteers?
Yes, they could give me a call on 350-2395 or drop me an email at anna.hayes@englishlanguage.org.nz.
And that'll be the same details for those that think that they might need a little bit of help with the English department.
Most definitely, yes, I can facilitate the appropriate learning for everybody, yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for stopping in and having a quick chat. It's been a pleasure to have you.
My pleasure, thank you.
That was Anna Hayes from English Language Partners speaking with Melanie Groves. If you'd like to watch the show again, visit our website tvrotorua.co.nz, or to contact us, phone 07 3488 984, or you can leave a message on our Facebook page. Thanks for watching tonight. We hope you have a great weekend. Ka Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.